So Laurence, can you tell me a bit about this particular part of your website that's called Mind Manager?
It's a part of my website that really interests me because one of the things that I found I had to do to make my website effective was change the relationship and how I was doing things. It's a management system which can nurture you to become more efficient in more areas of your life that you think maybe you might be interested in nurturing yourself. Maybe you've been used to doing something a certain way, and people have been saying to you, you know, you might like to try this or you might like to try that, and you look at them blankly and you're really thinking to yourself, there's no way I can change. But in fact, change is not that challenging if you know how.
I think that's a good point, but for many people, change is extremely, almost frightening.
Absolutely. But if you can start looking, of course, the first steps of any change is when you're going to have to be very brave, and if you can start really being honest with yourself as to what you want, where you want to go, once you've got over that hurdle, things should become much easier, and you should be able to leave that behind.
But how does this section of your website actually guide people to making this change?
The idea is to get all the labels out into the open. You build a wall of all these labels, good or bad, right or wrong, indifferent, positive, negative.
Are these labels that you think that you might have been labelled with by other people?
I've given suggestions based on my own experiences, and then I take those labels and I look at them, and then I take out what I want and I create a second wall, which is the first one is called honesty and acceptance, and the second one is about conscious choices, the ones that I really want to be in my life.
Now that's interesting, because you have of course been diagnosed Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism, and so are you saying the first thing you've got to do is accept that label that's been put on you, and then perhaps make a conscious choice to have a different label? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure if it's so much about accepting, but just being aware you've been given this label, or maybe you've labelled yourself with a label. Once you're able to see it on a wall, you can then say to yourself, you know, do you want to have that label? Do you want to have a relationship with that label? And if you don't, you delete it.
That's right, and of course the label on the wall enables you to stand back from the label, to be more objective.
The whole idea is to become an observer to all of your labels and not allow yourself to get drawn into whatever the label has done to you or for you in the past.
And of course this section, Mind Manager, is just a tiny section, or if you like, one label on this huge wall, and there's many other helpful things.
There are lots of helpful things, and the idea is once you get all the labels out of here, then you can start doing things. You can play with them like you're playing the ultimate game, and the end result is a life that you really want to lead.
And this website is up and live now?
It is indeed.
It's called?
www.lifebeyondlabels.com.
Laurence.